Yung kasing past month, especially nitong nagkaroon na nga ng falling out between the Vice President and BBM and nagkaroon na nga ng hindi rin magandang pagtira, no, yung mga kaalyado ni BBM, particularly dito sa budget deliberation. At nakita natin dito, no, na medyo yung stance ni VP Sara, medyo parang palaban, medyo feisty, no. So I think itong ginawa niya na pagpunta, no, kay VP Leni Robredo pagpapakita ng ibang demeanor, no, ibang klase ng personalidad, no, that despite of her na medyo masasabi ng iba na matapang, palaban, kaya rin naman niya magpakumbaba at pumunta doon sa tinuturing niyang kalaban dati, no, and she's willing to extend a hand of reconciliation. So this actually portrays or gives us an impression that the VP, particularly VP Sara Duterte, also has more than just simply putting up a feisty stance, no, in these issues, and that she has this act of goodwill, good manners, no, magandang paraan ng pakikitungo sa ibang tao kahit pa sinasabi na kalaban sa politika.
Prof, nakarating na ho ba sa inyo yung meeting ni VP Sara at ni former Vice President Leni Robredo? Ano ba ang epekto nito sa ating political landscape?
Well, basically itong meeting na to, no, sinasabi nga nila parang it was just a chance meeting, pero alam niyo naman sa ating politika, no, wala namang isang pangyayari that happens by accident, ano. So I believe na meron talagang mas malalim na pagkakahulugan itong nagganap na meeting na to sa Peña Francia event, ano. And I think on the part of the Vice President, if she really would have some kind of political motives, especially running for the presidency in 2028, I think this is also a good call, to some extent, because let's face it, VP Leni Robredo still has a command. Meron pa rin siyang loyal following, especially doon sa mga progressives and middle class. And I think if VP Sara Duterte could actually rally this political base of Leni Robredo to also support her cause, especially in 2028, I think this will be a pretty good thing for her, no, na mangyayari. Pero maaring may iba na nagsasabi na this is not going to happen or this is impossible. But in Philippine politics, as with any other instance, pwede naman talaga mangyari yan. Ano? Sabi nga natin, in politics, it's the art of the possible, as they say.
Pero anong dulot nito sa panig ng mga yellow at kakamping? For one, si dating Senador Trillanes pumapalag dapat sasampahan ro sana pa na impeachment yung vice, pero ba't daw kinausap at nagpag-meeting kay former VP Leni Robredo?
Yes, actually, kung titingnan natin, may punto rin naman dito siguro si former Senator Trillanes, kasi nga yung kanilang political ideologies, leadership styles, and their supporters talagang vastly different, no. Actually, very polarized nga to the extent na noong 2022 elections, talagang makikita natin very glaring yung difference, no. If ever siguro magkakaroon ng pagsuporta, this will require significant negotiation and concessions, and their respective political bases actually might find it difficult to reconcile these differences. At ito nga ay maaari yung pinag-uugatan nung binabanggit ni Senator Trillanes na why are we going to ally, with what he perceives to be as a traditional enemy. So I think ito yung malalim na pinaghuhugutan ni Senator Trillanes. But yun nga, maaari kasi nating tignan na din naman ito, as an act of goodwill on the part of the VP Duterte, na isang pagpapakita ng humility din at pagbibigay ng tinatawag natin o pag-aabot ng kamay na magsisilbi na rin naman na paraan para maghilom or magkaroon ng reconciliation even yung mga factions na traditionally hindi nagkakasundoan.
Pero ano yun, Prof? Was it a risk for the sitting Vice President na makipag-ugnayan sa, alam mo naman, nagkaroon ng mga maanghang na banat at salita nung eleksyon? O nakabuti ito sa political tactics ng Vice Presidente ngayon?
Right. Actually kasi kung titingnan natin yung kasing past months, especially nitong nagkaroon na nga ng falling out between the Vice President and BBM, and nagkaroon na nga ng hindi rin magandang pagtira yung mga kaalyado ni BBM, particularly dito sa budget deliberation. At nakita natin dito na medyo yung stance ni VP Sara medyo parang palaban, medyo feisty, So, I think itong ginawa niya na pagpunta kay VP Leni Robredo pagpapakita ng ibang demeanor, ibang klase ng personalidad, that despite of her na medyo masasabi ng iba na matapang, palaban, kaya rin naman niya magpakumbaba at pumunta doon sa tinuturing niyang kalaban dati, and she's willing to extend a hand of reconciliation. So this actually portrays or gives us an impression that the VP, particularly VP Sara Duterte, also has more than just simply putting up a feisty stance in these issues, and that she has this act of goodwill, good manners, magandang paraan ng pakikitungo sa ibang tao, kahit pa sinasabi na kalaban sa politika, kahit sinasabi pa na hindi magkasundo before, but she is willing to extend a hand to reconcile with people, kahit pa political rivals siya. I think ito yung pinapakita niya rito.
Tsaka may nagsabi rin, Prof, na mukhang magpapatulong, possible daw magpatulong doon sa balak di umano na maghahain ng dating Vice Presidente ng electoral protest against BBM, 'di ba? Kasi siyempre may mga dating opisyal ng DICT yung nagsasabi na nagkaroon ng daya noong 2022 presidential race, at si Attorney Glenn Chong din, tahasan niyang sinasabi na may ugnayan itong administrasyon sa mga pamunuan ng Smartmatic, na ang resulta daw ganyan kalaki ang boto na nakuha ni BBM.
Yes, actually, hindi natin iaalis yun, yung ganong agam-agam. And I think kasi with VP Sara Duterte being a previous insider, she actually might have information, and in fact, she could become a vital cog, for us to really know the truth kung sakaling meron nga talagang nangyari na hindi maganda, nung nakaraang halalan, So I think it could be a way for us to also figure out kung talagang may nangyaring hindi maganda. But I think siguro sigurong magandang pagnilay-nilayan natin dito ay yung parehong experience ng dalawang vice president, na pareho silang hindi naging maganda yung working relationship with their presidents, during that time. Maalala natin si VP Duterte, si VP Robredo became the vice president of former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte, and from the get-go hindi naging maganda yung kanilang samahan. Alam naman natin yun. Itong kay VP Sara, nung una okay sila ni BBM, pero it turned sour as of late, at mas nagiging malala ngayon dahil nga sinasabi na dati sila magkaalyado, tapos ngayon talagang they're already on the opposite fences, So medyo similar experience sila. So maybe VP Sara is trying to also ask VP Robredo a thing or two about how you could navigate the vice presidency, kasi meron pa siyang nalalabing ilang taon, despite the fact na may panggigipit, despite the fact na merong hindi magandang relationship, despite the fact na may mga kaalyadong pangulo na talagang titirahin at pipilitin siyang ibagsak. So how will she be able to manage to get through this or pass these obstacles?
Baka isa rin sa topic, yung treatment ng presidente sa bise, 'di ba? Kung
Right.
Kung
Mm-mm.
pag-uusapan natin yung 6 years ni PRRD, although hindi sila magkasundo talaga at panay-banat ni
Right.
VP Lenny kay former President Duterte, wala namang ganitong mga dynamics. Kung kukumpara
Exactly.
sa running mate, unit team, BBM and Sara, pero ito ngayon ang sinasapit ng ikalawang Pangulo.
Right, right. I also agree with that. Actually, yung sinasabi rin ng iba na po pwedeng magkaroon ng Duterte-Robredo tandem, I think it may generate substantial public interest, but it could, I think, confuse or alienate their respective supporters. No, many Filipinos, I think, might view this such a partnership, kung sakaling mangyayari, as contradictory due to their past rivalry and opposing political views, no? So, kaya lang ang alam kong gagamitin nila rito yung strong narrative of national unity and collaboration. Kaya lang medyo sa akin hindi rin tamang gamitin kasi medyo napaso na tayo ron, di ba? Naalala natin ng 2022 we banked on the idea of national unity, reconciliation, healing and all, pero hindi naman nagmaterialize. So baka hindi siya kagapin ng publiko this time around. Pero I think what should happen here is that yung respective political bases nila, no, medyo magkaroon ng compromise to some extent, but I think it will create a lot of convincing on both camps, particularly on both women leaders, to rally behind yung kanilang mga supporters kasi nga medyo polarized talaga yung agenda, yung principles at yung trajectory ng mga pangyayari, talagang hindi sila magkaugnay hanggang ngayon.
Prof, magandang gabi. Si Anmar po ito.